everybody, this is deliciousVB with another tutorial, and this tutorial, well, let's start out. This tutorial's the first tutorial in a while, 2 weeks, I think exactly, not exactly actually, but it's been a really long time, since I did a tutorial, so I just haven't gotten to it, but here's another tutorial. Now today's tutorial will be on creating a console application. Now last tutorial I showed you how to use class libraries and DLL files. Well, a console application is very different. A console application is similar to a Windows Forms application, but a Windows Forms application has windows. The console application is one window and one window only, and you cannot create more windows, you cannot customize the window. Now, I'll give you a quick example of what this is. Type in CMD in the start menu, and this is pretty much what it's gonna look like. So you can try out some of those things. Anyway, quickly, let's get started. So click on console application and let's name it whatever you want. I'm gonna say CA tut, console application tut, and it's going to open up a new code page. Now, like I said before, there's not really a form, so don't be expecting to customize any form. So basically, there are two simple functions that you can't do anything without. Console.writeLine, so you can write anything to the console. So let's just say this is my first console application. Now, next you want to hit console.read line. So it basically reads the line. Now this line is very crucial for your program to run well. Actually, run the right way. If you do not have this line, the program will close immediately. That's why you need this line. It basically just reads the line. Now you see it reads this, and now if you don't have the read line, it will just close right away. But yep, it writes it and stuff like that. Now, you might think, if there's no form, what's the point of this? Well, one example is the CMD. So I would say console applications are mostly used for configuring your system. So, you know, like I have this console application that clears it. It deletes this virus I have every time it runs. So, you know, it's really useful, and it saves the time of creating a good-looking form. So that's the advantages of the console application. But let's say this. Readline is a sub, kind of. Readline is a sub, but it's also a function. Now the sub readline is what we're using right here because it doesn't return anything. It doesn't return anything. It just reads the line. Now, the function would return a string. So basically what it says, if console.readLine, so if the last line on the text equals end, then end. So, writes this, let's just type end, and it ends the program. Now, else console.readLine. Now, if you will also notice, if you don't type end, it will still close. That's because nothing is left to execute. Therefore, there's no point of keeping the window open. Therefore, the window will close. But if you have this, the window shouldn't close when you type in some random thing. Obviously, it doesn't. Now, so that's using the read line. Of course, you can still use subs and functions. If you're not really clear what those are, you can check out my last tutorial on DLL files. But another function that's used a lot, not just in console applications, but also in Windows Forms, beep. Console.beep. And it made a loud beep, and I think it just blasted my eardrum. Holy shit. That, oh my god. Sorry for the swearing, but yeah, that really hurt my ears. Oh god. Should have thought of that. So yeah, it beeps, but I think I'm deaf right now or something. Anyway, so you can go to like function nothing by val function. Let's just say function add by val int 1 as integer by val int 2 as integer, and then as integer. And then below that, we're gonna type return int 1 plus int 2. That's really simple. And basically, what we're gonna say is console.writeLine first number dim int 1 as integer, dim int 2 as integer, int 1 equals 0. I know I'm doing it this way, but I am. And console.writeLine first number, so int 1 equals convert.to int 32. So we're going to convert console.read line on console.writeLine second number int 2 equals convert.to int 32. Now this is basically an adding kind of calculator thing. So console.read line. Read line. Now, and then we're gonna add add int 1 plus int 1 int 2, and actually int that returns a value, so I'm gonna say console.writeLine, so it returns a value. So now you can run it. It's gonna ask you for your first number, let's say 1, second number 5, and it returns 6. Now you might not have seen it because I forgot to put in console.readLine, but 1, 5, and it returns 0 for some reason. Let me try some different. 4, so it also returns 0, which is weird. Not sure what's going on. I'll look into that later, but because I don't have much time and I don't really want to pause it. I don't really have time to. So that's just the basic functions of console applications. So thanks for watching. Rate, comment, and subscribe. So yeah. do all that, and I'll see you sometime. Hope next week, if not this week. So, see ya.